I literally just saw the best news that could possibly happen ever on Battlefield History Gaming ever. Watch this video. We're going to react to it. This is Jack Frags. I'm going to put his link down below. This is not my video. I'm not going to take no credit. But you guys have to watch this if you're Battlefield fans. Oh my god.
Battlefield 2042 just dropped a huge bombshell, the Battlefield Portal.
This is insane.
Free available multiplayer experiences.
And there's new gameplay here too.
Featuring content at launch from BF 1942, Bad Company 2, BF3 and 2042. I was lucky enough to be shown a detailed behind the scenes presentation about this on Tuesday. It's quite complex, but I'm going to break it down for you now as simple as possible. At its core, think of this as a giant Battlefield toy box, and within that is an experience builder, giving the...
So, there's Battlefield 3, Bad Company 2, and 1942. They chose two maps out of each game, the best maps that everyone loves, and they're bringing them back into the game. It's like a toy box. I don't know if like you can play online with it or if it's offline. But dude, oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Erica HyperXquadCast. Oh my god.
Players the
I'm gonna
to
cream.
Share and discover. You'll be able to make your own custom servers and game modes using builder tools and a logic editor, mixing and matching content from all of those Battlefield games that I just mentioned. At launch, this will feature 6 remade fan favorite maps as...
So we get 7 maps that come with 2042, plus those 6 maps that are remastered. And they are going to have destruction. They're going to be up. Oh my god, I cannot. Dude, you don't understand the hype for this game I have. If it fails, I will probably drown myself. I would literally tie bricks to my legs and just jump in the river, dude. Oh my god. This game cannot flop. It just cannot. Gaming for me now sucks. This is gonna save it. Oh, don't flop.
7 all-out warfare maps from 2042, bringing the total to 13. The remade maps are as follows. From BF 1942, we've got Battle of the Bulge and El Alamein. From Bad Company 2, Valparaiso and Arica Harbor. And from Battlefield 3, Caspian Border and No Shark Canals.
You know what map is very underrated though? Karg Island from Battlefield 3. Why has that map not been remastered, dude? Why? Karg Island was so fucking good.
These maps are all built on the new Frostbite engine, rebuilt assets in 4K 60 FPS with the latest graphics.
This is the Bad Company 2 map, but it's like with the newer engine. Look at this shit.
And reimagined with the new tech available. For example, the 1942 maps will now feature destruction and weather effects, which they didn't originally have. And Valparaiso will have a low tide version as an option to accommodate 128 players if you want to do that. All of these maps can be played with their original player counts too, and on the new consoles and PC, you can run up to 128 players if you choose to. PS4 and Xbox One will be 64 players only, the same as their all-out warfare experiences. Additionally, they said that as new content is added to the game in live service, it will also be added to Portal as well. Some of the fan favorite weapons, vehicles, and gadgets have been remade too.
Alright, let's see what weapons they got here, okay. Oh, these are vehicles, these aren't weapons. What am I doing? Oh my god. Dude, this is some big ass news, man. What is the beta for Battlefield? Dude, if you know when the beta is, you gotta let me know.
This isn't just about maps. I've made some graphics here to showcase what will be available for those eras of games when 2042 releases. Feel free to pause the screen.
Okay. Ammo box, okay. Your basic average shit, okay. We're gonna have an ad in 3 seconds, so I'm gonna have to like skip it, so hold on.
The Car 98.
Oh, yo, here's all the weapons. Okay. Yes! So can I be running an M1 Grand while someone's running like an AS Val or something? That'd be fucking crazy.
The Havoc. I'm just so glad that they added the B-17 bomber, otherwise known as the Flying Fortress from 1942, because we used to have a blast flying that thing around with multiple crewmates back in the day. So you've got all these tools and toys, what kind of things can you make? Well, they gave us some basic examples which were as follows. Do you want to see World War II soldiers versus BF 2042 soldiers? Do you want to make a free-for-all deathmatch? Do you want to make a gun game with weapons from all of these old Battlefield games plus the new 2042 weapons? Do you want to make a zombies mode? Do you want to do 64 knives versus 64 repair tools? Do you want to see if 20 Tiger tanks could beat 5 M1 Abrams tanks? You make whatever you want really within the limits of the builder. So what are those limits and how do you build?
It's like a sandbox. my
We got
God.
to see a demo of a snipers versus shotgun mode being built, and this is done on a web-based platform. The devs told us that web-based means that they can update it freely without having to patch the game, and it is accessible from anywhere. And you don't need a copy of the game to build stuff either, but you will need an EA account. We were then presented with a basic building tool to start with that offered some official preset templates for game modes like Conquest, Rush, Team Deathmatch, etc. And you can then choose that to build off of where most of the initial legwork is done already, or you can start from scratch, completely custom. You then pick your eras. Do you want BF3 versus BC2, for example, or do you just want to make a vanilla 2042
It's
server?
gonna be
You then pick your
beautiful.
maps and map rotations, and what's cool about this is that they've made bubbles of maps as an option too. So say you didn't want the whole map, instead you wanted to build a smaller experience, but with 128 players, RPG only, a bit of chaos, and you only want it at the gas station on Caspian border. You then choose the team size. So do you want 40 players max? Do you want it to be asymmetric teams?
Dude,
Do you want to go
the
to
fact that they put that in a trailer, defibrillators versus knives, is insanely hilarious and amazing.
extreme of 127 German World War II
Why are my graphics going? Okay, I don't fuck. Whatever. It's watchable. I don't give a fuck.
soldiers
My
with
internet's
knives
sucking, I
versus one
guess.
player with an M240B light machine gun? Or do you want the typical 64v64 experience? Next, you can select what classes are available. Do you want to disable snipers? Do you want to make it engineer only? And then you can go into that further and disable or enable specific weapons, guns, attachments, vehicles, gadgets. Do you hate frag rounds on shotguns? Well, just turn them off. And this is where it starts to get really crazy.
Get out of
And
here!
we've really been given the
Stop!
keys to the castle. The next section was insane, and it offered a level of customization that I'd never seen before in a Battlefield game. And I'm just going to read through some of these toggleable and slider options here and just think about what this means. So you can adjust and change friendly fire, projectile speed, weapon damage, weather, headshot multipliers, aim assist, force reloading of whole magazines, squad revive, slide, sprint, prone, sprint strafe, fall damage, health regen. Turn the HUD on and off for all players so you can make a proper hardcore mode. Disable the compass, disable pinging. Anything that you could think of was there. And then after that section, there's AI. Do you want AI to backfill your server if a player leaves? Do you want to test it with all AI? What's the difficulty of the AI? How many AI are allowed on the server? If you wanted to, you could make a PvE experience where it's you in a squad with...
This is just too good to be true. I don't believe any. I mean, I believe it, but I don't want to believe it because I don't want my hopes for this game are so fucking high right now. Oh my god.
3 friends, let's say no health regen, limited ammo versus 124 hard mode AI, and no respawns allowed. And finally, this is the icing on the cake. As an option, you can then go into a more advanced version of the tool known as the logic editor with scripting, and this is going to really enable special experiences to be built. In this, you can create and edit actions, you can create rules, values, variables, subroutines, literals, control actions, array. You can script the ability to create a server message and notifications when something happens in the game or when someone joins. And then when you're finished, you're all done, you give your server a name, a description, a password if you want, and it will generate tags which will let players know what kind of experience it is, and players will be able to filter tags to find something that they want to try. You then have the option to share it privately or publicly, and it will generate an alphanumeric share code which you could keep private, send it to a friend. You could share a version of it online that other people could launch your game mode off. They could play, they could look at it and modify it if they wanted to. Is something not quite working as you want to with your game mode? Well, share the editable version of it with someone so they can take a look. Maybe they'll make some suggested logic changes, and then it's your choice if you want to make those changes or not. And as I previously said, if you want to keep it simple and you want to ignore all that and just make a vanilla BF2042 dedicated server with your favorite maps and rotations and game modes, you could do that. You don't have to get involved with any of the logic stuff if you don't want to, because they've got all those official DICE presets there that you can quickly choose from. So keeping it more vanilla, let's say you wanted to make a World War II server that just runs the 2 remade 1942 maps and only 1942 weapons, gadgets and vehicles. That's an option. Or do you want to have a server that's all of the 2042 maps but without specialists? Then make a server that's BF3 era teams and classes only, but give them the 2042 weapons and gadgets to find. But they will also highlight some of the favorite and most popular community creations too, and you'll be able to use filters, search and turn tags on and off in a server browser. Wrapping things up at the end of the presentation, there was a Q&A section, and I picked out some of the most interesting responses in that. Official guides will be coming. There'll be good tutorials teaching players more complicated things in that logic editor with Wikipedia-like pages and info. They also expect that the community will make their own video guides and databases. The old school classes are in those respective games. So for BF3, as an example, you'll have Assault, Support, Recon, and Engineer. In BF 1942, you'll have stuff like the Anti-Tank class. You can use the vehicle calling system across eras. There's currently no geometry or spatial editor. You can't disable specialists. You can't have multiple eras on one team at launch, but you can switch up and out the hardware that they use. There's a classic tuning preset, so you can restore some of the TTK feel, for example, from these older games. You can have a true Bad Company 2 experience where the TTK
You can have old school time to kill a movement. Oh my god.
was the same as that used to be, and you can't prone or sprint strafe. Any server or game mode that you create and then spool up will be on a dedicated server that's hosted by EA, and it's free to create. You've got admin controls on the servers. You can set passwords, kick bans, set welcome messages, and more. The minimum to make a game is 1 player. BF Portal has crossplay in the same way the main game does. Progression is enabled on custom.
So you can play with your friends and do this. What the fuck? This game cannot flop. It just cannot
server, but
flop.
There are checks in place, so if you change too many things, XP gain will be restricted, because in theory you could create a game mode where you could just boost through the ranks really quick, for example, and cheat the system. So there we have it. That's Battlefield Portal at launch. Quite mind-blowing, really, and I personally never
Fuck yeah, it
expected
is.
something like this to happen. For
Never,
Battlefield.
ever.
I've always wanted it to. It really is a love letter to the community, as they were saying. And the reason I'm so hyped about this is just think about what this could become in 2 years from now. A massive Battlefield toy box to play with. Every time.
Dude, it's gonna be so good. You're gonna see so many cool scenes, so many action plays, so many different scenarios. Dude, it's gonna be, oh my god, this is too good. Dude, this game can't flop. It just cannot. Dude, this is a whole another level of Battlefield. Like, I can't even this is something I would dream of. Oh my god, dude. Like Jack or Frags, dude. Like his video, subscribe to him. This is all his video, not mine. So, wow, dude. This guy,
Races, we got this melody, and you can trust me, baby. We got everything. Call me whenever you feel alone, babe. And when you need to cry, I'll be by